Hello friends, welcome. Today we will share 3 stories of enchanted dolls that will leave you to thinking. A creepy stories that may shock you. Let me begin with Mandy the doll.
Mandy is an antique porcelain doll over 100 years old, supposedly made in Germany or England around 1910 or 1920. She was donated to the Queensnell Museum in British Columbia in 1991. What makes her so unusual is the power some say she possesses. Her previous owner gave her to the museum after the strange incidents. The owner would hear the sounds of a crying baby in the basement. When she went to look around, she found no baby and an open window. After Mandy was given to the museum, the crying stopped, but some things did start to happen to the museum staff members. She didn't have a permanent lay. She sat facing the entrance so visitors could see her. Later on, she was put inside a case by herself in a different part of the museum. She has been known to play with electrical things which make them malfunction. People have claimed to feel sad and uneasy around her. Some say her eyes follow people around the room and she can over her head and fingers. No one knows for sure how Mandy became possessed in the first place, but there is a legend. Story is a little girl got trapped in the basement with a doll. She died and her spirit got trapped inside the doll. Years after that happened, the doll was found in the basement and the sounds of a child crying was heard. The doll was crying tears of blood.
Can you see me? Hello? Can you find me? Can you find me? I'm here. Behind you, look. Behind you. I'm behind you. I am right behind you. Don't be scared. I just want to play a game with you. Hey, don't you run away. Please stay. Stay with me. If you don't come play with me, then we will kill you. Incy Wincy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. So Incy Wincy Spider went up the spout again. Incy Wincy Spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. So Incy Wincy Spider went up the spout again. Catch me if you can.
There is no evidence that proves this story is true, but people still go to the Queensnell Museum hoping to see Mandy do something. Next, Robert the doll. Have you heard or known about this doll? If not, then please stay with us. According to legend, the doll has supernatural abilities that allow it to move, change its facial expressions, and make giggling sounds. Some versions of the legend claim that a young girl of Bohemian descent gave all to the doll as a gift or as retaliation for a wrongdoing. Other stories claim that the doll moved voodoo figurines around the room and was aware of what went on around him. Still other legends claim that the doll vanished after Otto House changed ownership a number of times after his death. Or the young Otto triggered the doll's supernatural powers by blaming his childhood mishaps on the doll. According to local folklore, the doll has caused car accidents, broken bones, job loss, divorce, and a cornucopia of other misfortunes. Museum visitors supposedly experience post-visit misfortunes for failing to respect Robert. The doll originally belonged to Robert Eugene Otto, an artist described as eccentric who belonged to a prominent Key West family. The doll was manufactured by the State Company of Germany, purchased by Otto's grandfather while on a trip to Germany in 1904, and given to young Otto as a birthday gift. The doll's tailor suit was likely an outfit that Otto wore as a child. The doll remains stored in the Otto family home at 534 Eaton Street in the Key West while Otto studied art in New York and Paris. Otto married Annette Parker in Paris on May 3, 1930. The couple returned to the Otto family home in the Key West to live there until Otto died in 1974. His wife died 2 years later. After their deaths, the Eaton Street home containing the doll was sold to Mirette Reuter, who owned it for 20 years, until the property was sold to the current owners, who operate it as a guest house. Next, Who Gangs, the Blindfolded Dog. The doll was found leaning against a tree by side of a busy road in Hugang in June 2014. A lace dress it wore wasn't as scary as the white blindfold that covered its eyes. Nobody knows the real story behind the doll's existence and the blindfold, but there's speculation that the rules are enough to make us shiver in fear. The doll was possessed and moved around on its own when its owner wasn't home. The owner blindfolded the doll and left it far away so it wouldn't follow her home. When left alone, the doll could be heard speaking in Malay in a dull female voice, and its head would be found turned in a different direction. It would follow and haunt the person who untied the blindfold, and apparently somebody did untie the blindfold unwittingly. We wonder who did that, and what happened to the unknowing person? A suicide involving a guy hanging beside an apartment block and a murder case occurred on the same day the doll was found. Coincidence? Maybe. What appeared to be a picture of the very same doll with her blindfold removed calculated sometime later, and netizens were pretty shocked. A netizen who tweeted about it expressed anger at the removal of the blindfold, warning the doer that it looks unhappy. Good luck to whoever did it. Nobody has seen or heard of the doll again since its discovery. Next, Annabelle the doll. I know some of you know about this story. It even made a movie of this. However, the real Annabelle doll was actually a normal-looking Raggedy Ann doll, not the creepy-looking porcelain doll seen in the Annabelle movie and The Conjuring. The Annabelle doll that inspired the movie is actually a vintage 1970s Raggedy Ann doll manufactured by the Knickerbocker Toy Corporation, not a doll maker. Specifically, the original doll measured 32 inches long and is adorned in a calico dress and white apron. It's said that the spirit in the actual doll was supposedly of an innocent young girl named Annabelle who had died in an automobile accident when she was 7 years old. It also somewhat reveals how the doll came to be named after a deceased young girl named Annabelle. The actual doll was purchased at the hobby store in 1970 by a mother who gave it to her 28-year-old daughter Donna as a birthday present. Donna was allegedly told by a medium that the spirit of the child had at some point entered the doll, and that the tragic accident that claimed that the child's life had happened close to Donna's apartment building. As stated in the demonologist's book, strange activity involving the real Annabelle doll had been going on for about a year before paranormal researchers Ed and Lorraine Curran became involved in the case and eventually took the doll into their possession. According to the Warren story, Donna, the nursing student who shared a tiny apartment with her roommate Angie, a fellow nurse who came home to find that the doll had shifted positions. At first, its movements were subtle and confined to the bed where Donna had left the doll. However, in time, the movements became more noticeable. Donna and Angie began to discover the doll in different rooms that they had left. It would even appear back in Donna's room with the door shut. Sometimes they found the doll with its legs crossed and its arms folded, while on other occasions it was found standing on its feet, leaning against a dining room chair. They even discovered it kneeling on a chair, which was strange because if they tried to make the doll kneel on its own, it would fall over. It couldn't kneel. According to the story told by Ed and Lorraine Warren, a former owner of Annabelle doll, Donna claimed that she would came home to find pencil messages written in childlike writing and parchment paper. The messages read, "Help us" and "Help Lou." Lou was Donna's roommate Angie's fiancé and had been staying with them. What made the messages even more strange was that Donna did not have parchment paper in the apartment and had no idea where it came from. Lou wasn't fond of the doll and warned Donna that it was evil. One night, Lou awoke suddenly from a deep sleep and realized that he was unable to move. He saw the Annabelle doll at his feet and watched as it slowly glided up his leg and over his chest. Before he knew it, the doll had begun to struggle him until he blacked out. He woke up the next morning, certain that his experience wasn't a dream. On a later occasion, Lou and Angie were studying maps to prepare for a trip. Lou was embarking on the next day when they heard rustling noises coming from Donna's room. Lou approached the closed door and waited for the noises to stop before entering, turned on the light and saw Annabelle laying on the floor in the corner. He walked over to the doll, but as he did, he began to sense that someone was behind him. He spun around but no one was there. In an instant, he found himself doubled over, grabbing his chest, which bleeding. Upon inspection, he discovered 7 claw-like scratches on his chest, 4 horizontal and 3 vertical, that were hot like burns. The scratches healed rapidly and were fully gone in 2 days. There's some case that Tony came home from work to find that there is blood on the back of the doll's hand and 3 drops of blood on its chest. There was no explanation for how the red substance had gotten there. This event is what prompted the doll's owners. Donna contacted a medium after noticing that 3 drops of blood had mysteriously appeared on the doll's chest and more blood was on the back of the doll's hand. Today, Annabelle lives in the Warren's Home and Occult Museum in Monroe, Connecticut. She sits in a glass case with a sign warning, "Positively do not open."
Why do you seem so scared? All I wanted to do was play with you. Please come and play with me. I am so lonely. You're not afraid of the dark, are you? Don't be afraid. Come with me. I will show you where I play hide and seek. Do you want to play hide and seek? You hide and I'll find you. You're going to die in there. Don't say I didn't warn you. I know things no one knows. You're going to die. Help me. I'm begging you. Can you help me? I'm alone and scared. I lost my mommy. Can you help me? I'm coming for you. I'm going to be there, watching you. I will get to you. I will find you.
Come to me, the man in the dark said, or else you won't see the sunset. I didn't see this as a threat, so he screamed at me until I bled. I don't want to play alone, but when I cry I hear a groan. I see a figure behind the wall. I'm so afraid he's going to fall.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Here in the forest, dark and deep, I offer you eternal sleep.
Lita the doll. Lita Meow is well known amongst the paranormal community as being one of the most haunted dolls in the world. The doll, which currently resides in Australia, is surrounded by quite a bit of mystery. While the doll sports exaggerated facial features, giving it a wicked look that is off-putting to many. It's said so many strange occurrences had happened surrounding the Lita Meow doll. His new owner, Kerry Walton, he claims to have found while visiting an abandoned building in 1972 in Wagga Wagga, Australia. According to Walton, he named the doll Lita Meow because of its supposedly supernatural characteristic. Kerry claims that people had seen the doll move in front of them and that the doll had left visible scalp marks around the house. Currently, Lita Meow is owned by Kerry and Rurwick, Queensland. Kerry became curious as to what they could learn about the mysterious children's toy. To their surprise, experts were able to date the doll and around 200 years old by analyzing some nails held under the doll's feet. It was also speculated the doll had been handcrafted somewhere in Eastern Europe, likely in Romania. Judging by the doll's gypsy-like appearance, interestingly, the doll even has a full head of human hair. In addition, the doll was also taken to a psychic for analysis. The psychic came up with some compelling information, which has been reiterated by other psychics throughout the years. It is said that the doll is actually inhabited by the spirit of a young boy who died a long time ago from drowning. It is also speculated that the doll may have been created in this body's likeness. Kerry was even allegedly told that he would never be separated from the doll. This was put to the test when the opportunity to sell Lita Meow arose, yet Kerry just couldn't bring himself to part with the doll. Kerry's family were understandably apprehensive towards the doll when he was first brought home. Yet it was strange activity to follow that really had them unsettled. It is said that the Lita Meow doll would move around on its own, with strange scalp marks, apparently left from the doll's shoes, were found around the house each morning. In addition, some people had an aversion to the doll's presence, feeling sick or overcome by emotions when the doll was around. Animals, namely dogs, would act strange around the doll too, trying to bite and attack it. Lita's story can be traced to the small town of Wagga Wagga in rural New South Wales, Australia. During the 1970s, that a young man by the name of Kerry Walton decided to explore an abandoned house with his brother. The two men had always been inquisitive over the property, having heard countless stories of it being a haunted house as kids. It was within this house that Kerry was to make a shocking discovery underneath the floors of the decaying property. He spotted something sinister which at first glance looked to be the body of a dead child. Upon closer inspection, Kerry had discovered a strange doll with a wicked grin. Kerry felt compelled to rescue the doll from beneath the house. Today, Lita Meow had become an integral part of Kerry's family. So this haunted doll appears to look a little creepy, its sad backstory means that the doll may just be inhabited by an innocent child spirit. The doll is believed to be a good-natured. Next, Okiko the doll. Have you heard about the story of this doll? According to modern Japanese folklore, the doll was bought in Sapporo by a 17-year-old Ikichi Suzuki in 1918 for his 2-year-old sister Okiko. He was touring the region for a maritime exhibition. The doll instantly drew his eyes. The perfect little thing sat on a shop window enticing him. Suzuki didn't think twice. He went in and instantly purchased the figurine for his sister. He used the last of his money for it. At about 40 centimeters tall and dressed in a traditional kimono, the doll was exquisite. Its hair was raven black and cut roughly shoulder length, in a traditional Okapa hairstyle. Her eyes were piercing coals that seemed to swallow everything up in their gaze. The thing was mesmerizing and enchanting, something to take your breath away. Suzuki went back home and gave the doll to his little sister. Kaiki fell in love with the doll immediately. It transformed into Okiko's favorite toy, and more importantly, her best friend. Okiko played every day with the doll, took it everywhere, and treated the figurine like a little sister. She would talk, feed it, and sleep with it. She decided to call the doll Okiko, a mirror duplicate of herself. The doll never left Okiko's side. Then, a year later, tragedy struck. In 1919, Okiko died. Yellow fever had descended on the land and robbed the family of the little girl. Okiko died gasping for air in pain and afraid. The doll held firmly in her grasp. She was only 3 years old. The family wanted to bury the doll along with Okiko, but circumstances and government oversight preventing this last act of kindness on their part. The doll was never laid to rest with Okiko. Okiko the doll was alternatively located in the family altar, a common practice in certain Japanese households to commemorate the dead. The small shrine celebrated their daughter and marked her passing into the afterlife. That's when the weirdness started to occur. One day the family started to notice that the doll's hair was getting longer. Once a traditional shoulder-length cut with neat ends, now a mangled mess of split ends reaching down past her waist. It was fluffy, different colors. At night they started to dream of Okiko, and sometimes the doll would appear by their side come morning. The chilling events intensified and grew into full-blown acts of spiritual infestation. Lights flicking on and off, banging in the house, noises and strange voices. The closer the year got to certain key dates, Okiko's birthday and the day of her death, over time they were certain and spiritual leaders concurred that their daughter's soul was in fact trapped within the doll. In 1938, the family relocated to a different district. They had by now become accustomed to Okiko and had even grown fond of their daughter's restless spirit. It was a magical and unique opportunity to interact with the dead, not desiring to take Okiko's with them. Fearing that what fueled her magic was proximity to their daughter's grave, the family approached the local temple and asked them to take care of the doll. The temple by now had heard countless stories of the amazing doll whose hair grew every year. They were fascinated, escaping like schoolgirls with prospect. The priest gleefully accepted the charge and started taking care of Okiko. Over time, they've managed to confirm the veracity of some of the claims, particularly that the hair does indeed grow. The priests have sent out cut samples of the hair of scientific analysis. Scientific examination of Okiko proved that the hair was that of a human child. Regularly, the hair gets a trim and the doll stays happy and content. As the year passed on, the doll's fame grew and her powers further developed. She's bolder now, invading the dreams of the priests and those that come to visit her. She's stronger, her hair growing faster and wilder, and she's even spookier. The last night event driving tourist mad is the frightening claim is that the mouth of Okiko is slowly opening and that if you dare to peer inside you may be able to glimpse something like baby teeth spouting like weeds from porcelain gums. Okiko is located in her private shrine on display in a little wooden box in the Mandy Temple in the town of Iwamizawa, Hokkaido, Japan. She's there waiting for all who want to play with fire and have one-on-one conversation with the paranormal and the bizarre. Next, Pulau Ubin Barbie. How about this one, friend? Have you heard the story about this doll? In 1914, during the World War I, the British captured a German couple in Singapore whom they suspected were spies. The couple's daughter managed to get away, only to fall off a cliff in Pulau Ubin and die. Residents erected a shrine in her memory with porcelain altar that reportedly contains her crucifix. The Barbie doll, however, only appeared in 2007, after a male islander dreamed of a white girl leading him into a toy store and to a Barbie doll inside it. After having the dream for 3 nights in a row, he went to the store the next day and found the exact doll from the dream. He bought it and placed it in a shrine in place of an urn that used to be dirt. Visitors have since been living offspring of beauty items such as perfume and lipstick there. It's curious how extravagant the doll costume looks. Was it originally like that, or did someone decide to dress it that way? Next is Smoking Demon Doll. In 2014, residents in Europe West reported sightings of demonic doll to void deck at the block of HDD flats. Only one grainy picture ever provided proof of this sighting, and it's already giving major evil spirit vibes. It's hard to pick up anything other than its horns, dots and jet black hair, squarish jaw, and strange sitting position. People who saw it claim it was holding a cigarette in its hands. Residents haven't seen it again since that one incident.
That will be all, friends. Hope you like our story about these dolls, and if you're new to our channel, please don't forget to subscribe, hit like and notifications so you are updated once we upload new video. Have a fantastic one and goodbye for now.